How do you make extra money on Airbnb? You've come to the right place. I have done a masterclass. It's a webinar that's going to take us through the ins and outs of Airbnb, how to make extra money, how to rank higher, how to become SuperHost, and how to become more profitable. Sit back, relax, check out this video. It is quite long, it's over an hour, but I have broken it down into sections. You can watch one section and then come back later, or you can just watch the whole thing. But this is a comprehensive guide that will assist you in building a business from scratch, leveraging the power of Airbnb. All right, great. So what brings us here today? We are here to create income. We are here to make our assets sweat. We are here to ensure that we are not slaves to money, but money becomes our slave. That is the reason we are here today. And I'm going to share with you what I've learned throughout my career, the mistakes I've made, and the insights that I've gotten and acquired through the years. A little bit about myself. I think this was covered a lot already by Governor Mapule. I'm currently running 4 businesses at the moment in real estate, investing, and the textiles industry. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I've been starting businesses since I was in high school. So I really love business. I really, really, really love business. And because of my love for entrepreneurship, I became a millionaire at the age of 22 while I was in university. I came across an amazing opportunity while I was in university, enabled me to live the life of my dreams at a very, very young age. And I've dedicated my life to sharing knowledge with people and sharing what I've learned with people from the businesses that I've started and the career journey that I've had so far. So that's me. I've got different platforms where you can engage with me. You can engage with me on LinkedIn. You just search my name. I will come up. And on YouTube as well. I've got a YouTube channel. A lot of the resources that we cover here are on my channel as well. And I will ensure that I upload the video as well of the content we covered today. So you just search my name as well on YouTube, and then my channel will come up. Now, what are we going to cover today? Today's session will be split into 2 parts. The first part will be primarily focused on Airbnb. It's a business that I started in 2019, which did very, very well. I'm going to take you through practical from where you start to how you manage it day to day, how you become profitable, and how you grow it to the next level. And then we'll take questions at the end of that session relating to the Airbnb business. And then part 2 will be more about investing. So that part is more passive. So I'm going to show you how you get your money to sweat every single day. Every rand that you earn, or dollar or pound, sweat every single day for you. We'll cover a little bit of investing basics, goal setting, tracking, and then we'll do Q&A as well. Great. Let's go straight into Airbnb. So like I said, put some questions in the chat. Let's keep it as interactive as possible. If I'm going too fast, you can tell me. Slow down a little bit, Mukhele. If it's dragging too long, you can tell me to speed it up. Let's keep it interactive. We are all here to learn. Take some notes. We are all here to learn. So part 1, what is Airbnb? Airbnb is just a phenomenal story. There are 2 guys who rented out an air mattress and have now built the biggest hotel chain in the world because they realized that there was a gap in the market, and the hotel industry, the formal hotel industry, was not catering for the needs of its consumers. So they realized that some people are looking for a more personalized stay, and a hotel sometimes loses that personal touch. And they found that people could use their own homes to generate extra income using Airbnb. So how it worked is there was a jazz festival in the US, and there was a real big shortage of accommodation in that city. And these guys just thought, you know what, let's just start a website and get people to book, and then they can come. We'll just get some air mattresses and put them around here. And it became so popular. And today there are over 5 million listings on Airbnb. So it is by far the biggest hotel chain in the world. The hosts, including myself and other hosts around the world, we have generated over 50 billion US dollars over the past 10 years since Airbnb started. And the nice thing about Airbnb is that unlike Uber, so what Uber does is that Uber takes about 20% of your earnings. Airbnb is different in that they only take 3% of your earnings. So you get to keep 97%, which is the bulk of your money is kept by us, the hosts. Hence, it's become so popular. It's one of the reasons it became so popular, because it's very fair towards us as hosts. And Airbnb recently reached a massive milestone where they've recorded 400 million check-ins. I mean, just thinking about that number is mind-boggling. And this massive industry is available to all of us. The growth factor of Airbnb and what made Airbnb grow at a much more rapid rate than its competitors, it's the ease at which you can list your property. They make it so simple. I mean, literally, if you have a computer there and you are following along with this webinar, you can literally get your place listed within the time of this webinar. So they've made it very easy. So a lot of people latched onto it because of the ease of use. So that contributed to their phenomenal growth. I've used other platforms as well, such as booking.com. I'm sure some of you have seen booking.com. And that process is tedious. It's a much more complicated process. Hence, because booking.com was launched before Airbnb, but Airbnb surpassed booking.com exponentially. And it's mainly because of the ease of use. It's very user-friendly. The whole experience for both the host and the guest is amazing. The way they attend to queries, the way they keep informed. There's a big educational element as well, where you get to learn. They give you a lot of tips on what to do. So they turn an ordinary person. I mean, I was never in the hospitality industry. I have never worked in the hospitality industry. But just through watching webinars such as this one, through watching YouTube videos, going through the education on the Airbnb platform, I was able to start a business in the hospitality industry. I knew nothing about what's expected on how you clean, how you make the bed, check-in times, check-out times, all those things. I had no idea of those things. But now I have become a SuperHost, which is something I will cover a little bit later in the webinar. So if you are excited and you want to learn more about Airbnb, please just type yeah in the chat, just so that I know that you're still with me and you're engaged. I just want to check what's going on in the chat. I see Margaret. I see you. I see you, Tanya. Yeah. Dr. Julia, I see you. I see you, Nontobeko. I see you. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. I see you, Israel. Fantastic, 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 sis Grace and Peter. Great. So now that we understand the bigger picture, this is a huge, huge market that is open to everyone. There's very little red tape. Literally, if you have a spare bedroom in your house and you have a phone, you can start a business as early as tonight. That's all you need. You don't even have to have a spare bedroom. You can literally use your own bedroom if you are going away for the weekend. That's what some people do at Airbnb. They rent out their apartments when they are away for the weekend. So you can go and visit your family for the weekend and make some money while you are away. And a lot of people always ask me as well, so, I mean, aren't you worried that people are going to steal from you? They're going to mess up your furniture and things like that? And the answer is Airbnb is just absolutely amazing, because as a host, you have $1 million worth of insurance cover for your property. So should anything go missing in your property, even if someone stains, I mean, I had an issue where a guest stained our pillows, and it was resolved. I got money for my Egyptian cotton pillowcases. So that's another thing that just makes it so amazing. You can literally just leave your place, obviously making sure it's in a good condition, and that's the opportunity. So you don't even have to have a spare room. You could use the current bedroom that you are sleeping in to generate additional income. So no excuses for saying you cannot generate income with your resources. We said from the beginning of this webinar, we're going to make our assets sweat. That's what we are here for. We're here to make sure that whatever you have in your possession, whatever assets, be it real estate, be it cash, whatever, it needs to sweat. It needs to generate more income. All right. So this lesson, I'm going to just move through the presentation and the actual platform. I think it's actually powerful when I really log in to some of these tools that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to log in live. If you want to do it yourself, you're more than welcome to. I'll share the websites that you're going to go to. So you can also go in, just try it out, play around with it, just so that you get a feel of the different platforms that we use. Now, where do I start? That's the big question. Where do you start? I mean, this is such a huge market. It can be overwhelming. And where do you start? The first place we are going to start is what we call market analysis. Airbnb, as mentioned, has got millions and millions of hosts all around the world. And you need to understand where to locate your business. Obviously, if your business is going to be where you live currently, then you will do some research around where you live. And if you want your business to be outside of your current location, you can also follow the same process in terms of doing the analysis of profitability. So what we want areas that have high rental demand and a shortage of properties. And we have a software that goes and zooms in and finds those areas for us. So we're looking for high demand. There's a lot of bookings. There's a lot of people requesting bookings in these areas. So it's basically looking for areas with a high demand and a low supply. That is where the biggest profit opportunities are. And when I started this business, that area for me personally was Rosebank. Rosebank is a phenomenal area. It's growing. It's a good hub because there's Gautrain there. There's a mall. Everything is around walking distance. There's a lot of amenities around. So there's a very, very high rental demand in that area. And there's not enough supply. There's not enough supply. The main reason there's not enough supply in Rosebank is because the property prices in Rosebank have skyrocketed. A one-bedroom apartment in Rosebank used to cost 700,000 Rand. Now they are costing 2 million Rand above. So it's a finite resource in that area. It's not the only area. There are also other areas. I'm just demonstrating to everyone on the call what I did personally, and I achieved great success in Rosebank. As you use these tools, you can also find some gems out there, and where that demand doesn't meet the supply. So the first tool we're going to use is called AirDNA. So if you want to follow through with me, just go on your laptop and Google AirDNA. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to AirDNA just so that you can see it practically. I hope you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, just type on the chat. I can see
yes, we
AirDNA.
can still see your screen.
You can see AirDNA. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay. This is AirDNA. It's an amazing tool because it gives you insight. It's a live software program that...
Sorry, doctor, I don't see it.
You don't see it. Okay.
No, he hasn't started. Okay.
Okay.
We can still see the slide.
You can still see the slide. Okay.
Yes, we haven't got to the...
Let me do this. I think it will be easier if I do this and then go to AirDNA and then share.
We can see you sharing.
Okay.
Perfect. We can see it now.
You can see AirDNA. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you, Governor Mapule, for that. So AirDNA. AirDNA, as I mentioned, is an analysis tool. This is what you are going to use to find those areas that present the best opportunities. Conversely, you can use this tool to just analyze the area where you live if you are going to use your current property. This is just an example of what it looks like. So the good thing is they grade every area. So you zone into an area and then it's got a grade. The grade is based on 5 factors: rental demand, revenue growth, seasonality, regulation, and investability. And then there's an overall score. If Rosebank was an A grade property, and one of the reasons I went for it. This program is paid. There is a subscription, but the main area that you are going to use is free. So the most important data that you need to start is available for free on this website. So what I'd like to do, I want us to be very interactive and practical. I'm going to pick on one of you, unless someone volunteers. Someone who wants to start Airbnb business and is keen, and we're going to analyze an area of their choice, an area where they think there's opportunities for Airbnb, and we are going to go live and do an analysis of that area. You can just unmute if you are ready, and let's go through it. Otherwise, I'm going to pick someone from the group.
So Tandek has already sent a message.
Okay.
Moy River.
Moy River.
Yes.
Please check Moy River. Okay. All right, Tandega, do you mind going off mute? Because I'm gonna be asking you questions as we go.
Okay.
All right, great. So Moy River. Let me see if I can search it here. Otherwise, is that the one? No, that's
correct. Yeah, it falls under Bufana is the region.
falls under Bufana region. Great. Let's see if this area is profitable. Okay. Search. So what you're gonna do as soon as you get in here, you're gonna click on Rent Analyzer. Okay, just remove the chat here to create a bit more space. Okay. All right. Rent Analyzer. Okay. Let me just test something here quickly. I see there's Judas in the waiting room. Okay, there we go. There we go. This is Mbofana. Is this Moy River? Is this
Yeah, I think, yeah. Yes, it is.
does it look familiar?
Yes, it is. It's yeah, around the purple. I can see it. Yeah, next to R22.
Moy River. There it is. There it is.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
Moy River. There we go. Let's zone into it a little bit. All right. So let's see. Average daily rate in Moy River is 1,200 a day. That's kind of what you will make at Moy River. Occupancy rate is a little on the low side. It's quite low, actually. 16% is very, very low. So from that regard, and this is the revenue that the people there were making per annum. So what this does, okay, sorry, this is the paid portion. But I want to go into the detail that this software gives you. So those little purple dots, so what AirDNA does, it splits it into 3 categories. So the purple ones are where you can stay by yourself. The blue ones is people who are just renting out a room, just a room within your place. So here it's called entire place. That means you have the place to yourself, and this is like a spare room. And then you can literally go in and look at your competition. So let's look at this one. This is it's called Moy Hill. Let's go into it. And you can literally go in and it takes you straight to Airbnb. There's a place, 3 bedrooms, Moy River. It's got 3 bedrooms, 4 beds, 3 bedrooms and 4 beds, 1,200 a night. And there are the pictures, looks amazing. And yeah, so you should also understand when you are moving into an area, you should know your competition. So you need to analyze what are the other people doing, because when someone books and just says Moy River, they'll be searching all these places. And one thing you need to understand about Airbnb, when it lists a property, it does not, you cannot sort by price or sort by the algorithm does the sorting. So when you are trying to book and you just type Mooi River, what the algorithm does, it will put all the hosts that have the highest ratings, it'll put those properties first, because Airbnb knows that the guests are likely to have a good experience when they book those hosts. So as you keep booking and booking and you getting good reviews, you will move further up when the people run the search. Now, a lot of people say, but now what does it mean for me as a newbie? I mean, I'm only starting. How am I going to get listed on top of the search criteria? What Airbnb does, which I absolutely love, if your listing is new, you get additional points. So new listings, they pop up first and they always say new. So they give you the benefit of the doubt when you start. So they let you get a few bookings and then they try to see how you are performing. And then after a while, then they remove those extra points that you get for being new. All right, Tandega, does it make sense so far? Here's another one. So you can literally, let's look at something that's someone's room. So that was an entire place. You can literally go in and look at these ones. So this is someone's room. So this is a room within the property. Okay, they don't have pictures. One of the things you will learn is the pictures are what sell your property. What I did when I started, I got a professional photographer to come and kit out my property. That's what's going to sell your property, because people buy with what they see. They buy with what they see. Okay, so great, Tandega. Let's do another quick one. Anyone else want us to check out an area to see if it's worth their while, and if there's demand there? Look at your occupancy. Look at your average daily rate that you will get.
You've got a volunteer there, Helen.
Oh,
You've got two volunteers actually.
Okay, cool. Waterfall. I did look at Waterfall. We'll look at both. Waterfall is an amazing area. Here, is it the Waterfall here in Midrand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. That is a great area. I did myself consider investing there. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we are in Waterfall. Okay. Now, can you see the difference in occupancy rate?
Yes,
much higher occupancy rate. Daily rate is a little bit lower, but look at the annual revenue so this is the average of what people make in that area. Okay. So the reason you can see these numbers is because I previously went into Waterfall, so that's why I could access these additional annual revenue numbers. But let's go within Waterfall and look at a couple of places inside there. Sorry. Okay, so these are the plans if you want to if you want to access the full features. There's a plan that starts at $12 a month. Then you can unlock all the other features of a DNA. But like I said, as a starter, you can definitely use the free version. Bedford View. Okay, so what I'm going to ask the guys to do, go in yourself to AirDNA. It's very simple to create an account and play around with those areas to just see the demand there. Okay, I'll try waterfall again, and then we'll go into the next step after you've chosen your area. Okay. The other thing about Joburg, which I found, they've split it into wards. Sometimes you struggle to find a place, but it's split into wards. So you can just Google Johannesburg Ward 108, and then you will see. So what I did, I went to the municipality website where I got a breakdown of which suburbs fall under which wards. You will find that with Johannesburg as a city, but don't let that turn you off these wards. Someone said they wanted to look at. I saw Bedford View, also a very good area. A very good area because of proximity to the airport. So annual revenue, not as good as in terms of revenue, not as good as Waterfall. You'd expect to make 120 per annum. Your daily rate is around 550. Decent occupancy rate. You want your occupancy rate to be above 60, 60 and above. I'll look at the last one. Let's look at what someone put in the chat. I see.
We had Velgehavel first. Velgehavel.
Okay.
It's in West Rand.
Oh, yeah. Velgehavel. Okay. It's around where I live. Velgehavel. Am I spelling it right?
I have a burning question during this. The student also when I'm here.
Okay, let's check it out quickly.
Michele, I think
Yes.
whilst you're busy with that, there's a question on the floor. Governor Mapule
Yes.
has her hand raised. Yeah.
Thank
Sure.
you. Yes, I want to know what must one look at, occupancy rate or rental amount? Because Murray River had a lower occupancy rate, but the rental income was high. It was 1,002, but the occupancy rate was low. This other one that you're showing, you said, its occupancy rate is 60%, but the average daily rate is lower. It's almost a third of. So what does one look at? You look at the occupancy rate or average daily rate, ideally, if you want to make money?
That's a fantastic question. And it's something that I'm going to cover. But the short answer is it depends on your investment strategy or your business strategy. So I'm going to cover a section where we look at your strategy. So you are going to have a business strategy, and pricing is going to be key to your strategy, because remember, you are these are averages. These are averages, and you are in competition for these bookings. So it's the classic high volume, low margin, and low volume, high margin debate that you have to play in your head. So if you're in Moy River, you're not going to be busy. You'll get the odd booking here and there. You could still be profitable. But if you are in Waterfall, you're going to be busy. There's much more competition, but you're going to be busy. Because there's so much competition, you're going to have to charge less. And there's going to be more activity, and you can still make money that way. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, let's move back to our presentation. Just in the interest of time. Let me stop sharing, quickly go back to the presentation. So that's basically where you start. You start with your market analysis, analyze your market, understand where the opportunities are, and then you decide. You decide, I am going into this area. Obviously, if you're gonna choose the area where you live, you're gonna just do an analysis, do competitor analysis, look at your competitors, look at their pictures. The nice thing about Airbnb is all the information is publicly available. So you can see everything. You can see all the reviews that people had about that property. You can see all the ratings. You can see their weak points. You can see where they are strong and emulate what they are doing that's strong. And with the paid version, you'll be able to see, and I mean, $12 is not a lot of money. It's like 150 Rand, 160 Rand. You'll be able to see you'll be able to see the revenue that every single unit is making. So you'll be able to see this unit makes so much per annum. This unit makes so much per annum. And you can zone into the ones that are doing extremely well. And then you can try to see what is it that they are doing that's giving them so many bookings. Now that you've decided on the area, you're going to make a big decision. This is assuming that so if you are going to use the place that you own, you don't have additional costs. So it's a no-brainer. You're just renting out an extra room. So you're not going to spend any additional money other than the money you were already spending. Nice way to start, but you're not going to grow a big business. It can be good just to get your feet in, just to learn and understand how the platform works. But now, if you want to build a big business, you're going to either purchase properties in the areas that you've identified, which is like a strategy I personally do not recommend because it's risky. If the area doesn't work or something changes, anything happens, you are still stuck with that property and you might lose money. And it's the more expensive option in terms of the barriers to entry. So ownership, obviously, you're going to have to raise a deposit. You're going to have to jump hoops with the banks to try and purchase a property outright. If it's part of your investment strategy, go ahead. But for this specific webinar, I'm going to focus on a concept we call rental arbitrage. Rental arbitrage is basically a process where you rent an asset and you rent it out again at a higher price. It's basically within the property space is you renting out a month to month, but you rent out day to day. So you could go and look for a property, rent it out for 10,000 Rand a month, and then look at what the properties in those areas are making on average. If those properties are making, say, 200,000 a year, you can calculate that your rent is going to be 120,000 Rand a year. And if you can generate 200,000, you can have a profitable business. And if you can just do that and duplicate, because what we want here is for you to put a system together that you can duplicate and just repeat over and over and over and over again so that you can have a big business. The best resource for rental arbitrage, that's what I used. I probably watched over 20 hours of videos. The best YouTube channel to look at is called AirBnB Automated. The guy's name is Sean. He's built a business of around 100 units, and you can start the videos from the beginning throughout his journey as he builds up his business. He starts that that channel where he's got his first property, and he takes you through how he's building that business. He even goes through when he was in lockdown. He literally every day records a video to map out his Airbnb journey. And I was following him, and he actually inspired me to get into the business. So a good source for rental arbitrage. He specifically covers rental arbitrage. So what I love about arbitrage, which is what I do not need to own the property. I found my first property was a 1-bedroom apartment in Rosebank. I was lucky to get it at a 9,500 rental, a 1-bedroom. And I was able to make a profit out of that. So if you want, so this is, I assume the people on this call are people that are keen on starting as early as tomorrow. So the next thing you're going to do after you, yes. So the next thing you're going to do after deciding on the area you're going to choose is go to Property 24. Then go to Property 24 and then look for properties to rent in that area. Look at the rentals. So AirDNA will show you the revenue, and then Property 24 will show you the rentals in that area. And then you can kind of do the numbers and see if you can run a profitable business. Great. Now we move to the third step. You've decided on an area, you've signed a lease, you've got a rent, you've got an empty apartment, you are ready to, you've paid the deposit, you're ready to start your business. So in order to set up, for me, the setup costs were 80,000 Rand. For that specific one, I spent about 80,000 Rand. That included the deposit, the first month's rent, and the furniture and the fittings, and all that. The nice thing with a lot of apartments now is you'll find them kitted with high-speed Wi-Fi. They've got a lot of amenities already, especially in the more modern areas. But for a 1-bedroom is going to be about 80,000. A 2-bedroom probably around 120. It also depends, right? If you're gonna go and buy furniture from these expensive places, it can cost you 200,000-300,000. And on the contrary as well, you can go buy furniture, cheap furniture, that's gonna get you bad reviews. The one thing that I would recommend, if you want to build a business and build a big business, do not cut corners and go to second-hand shops. Don't do that. A lot of people try to do that. The problem with that is that you waste a lot of time. What we want is to get you ready in less than, because every time, now you've signed a lease. You are paying every day. That place is empty. It's costing you. Now you are busy driving around looking for a chair here, a table here. You are wasting time, and that time is costing you. What you want is to place an order at a place like Take a Lot. Place everything online, get them to deliver everything in one. Deliver everything. You don't have to rent a bakkie, move a bed from here, get a mattress from there. You don't want that. It's going to waste your time, and you won't be able to scale your business, and you'll be losing money. So you go to a place like Take a Lot, and then they also have Superbalist, where they've got nice furniture there. You just order as many things as you need there, whether it's your kettle, you're going to need everything to the last teaspoon. What you want to do is make a list of everything. There's on that Airbnb automated website, you'll get a link to a list of things that you should buy. A carpet, everything. It's all there. What you need to do is put that list on an Excel spreadsheet and then do some shopping online. find a kettle and then put the link of that kettle on next to that link. So you put the kettle and then you put the link, so that when you are ready to hit play, you just click on those links and you add to your cart. Click on link, add to cart. Click on link, add to cart. So try to get as many things from one place as possible. It helps you with your delivery costs. It helps you with time. It saves time. And what I like is it's cut and paste. Your properties are going to look very similar. When you are ready to move to your next property, you just snap out that list again and you just buy the same furniture again and you move to the next one. That's how you build a big business. You need to put a system in place whereby things can be duplicated with speed and efficiency. So you're going to buy your couches, your pictures. You need to make the place look nice. Airbnb travelers are not fussy. It doesn't have to be a 5-star hotel. They're not as fussy as your normal traveler. Make it homely, but it doesn't need to be. You need to have the basics. You need to have the basics. A microwave, a fridge, obviously, but it doesn't need to be a 5-star hotel either. Okay, are you guys still with me? How are we doing on time?
Yes, we are. We are doing okay.
All right. Okay, let me take a couple of questions on the chat. When you do a rental arbitrage, do you have to tell the landlords? I asked because I think the contracts say you can't rent it out. Fantastic question. You have to get permission from the landlord. And on that channel, the Airbnb Automated, they give you the script, what to say to your landlord. I'll give you a snippet of what you're going to say. You're going to go to your landlord and you're going to say, you run a corporate accommodation business. You have corporate clients that come. You have contracts with corporate clients. So companies such as Eskom, when their employees come to Johannesburg, you have a contract with companies like that. Because you do. Airbnb links. I've hosted a lot of corporates that come to Rosebank. And then you need to tell them you are going to make sure that the apartment is as clean as a hotel, because you get reviewed on how clean it is. At the back of their mind, the landlord is thinking, wow, this person is bringing high profile people into my unit and the unit is going to be cleaned. It's gonna be very, very clean. So it's the way you sell it to them. It's the way you sell it. If you're gonna say people are gonna be coming in and out here, and then always say you have long term. The way I said it, I said I've got guys who come for projects in Joburg for like 1 month, 2 months. So I'm not gonna always be there. But someone else will be there for like a month or two. Sometimes it's 2 weeks. It's guys that come to Joburg for projects. And I'm going to make sure it's clean. That's it. But then you need to get written permission from the landlord. I was lucky. The apartment block that I used allows Airbnb. It was fantastic. If you guys want to go there, it's called The Bolton. There's still great rental demand there. It's called The Bolton. You can just Google The Bolton Rosebank. They are very Airbnb friendly. And a lot of units like Baldwin, I know they don't mind Airbnb. It's becoming more and more popular. And you must remember right now, there's a lot of vacancy. There's a lot of empty apartments. So a landlord, trust me, if that unit has been empty for 2-3 months and he's been paying a bond and levies on it and rates and taxes, and you come there, you want to rent it, they will definitely let you rent it out. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Tess, do you need to own the property? I think I've answered you. Definitely not. You don't need to own it. So that's how you grow, right? So imagine you getting into a business for 80,000 Rand, which is what I spend. If I was to purchase a property, I would have to pay transfer costs. I would have to raise a deposit. I would still need to have to buy the furniture. I cannot imagine how much it would have cost me. And that limits your ability to scale. So you want your setup costs to be as low as possible so that you have the ability to scale up. You can scale up quickly. And what we do is the profits we make from one unit, we do not spend. We take those profits, then we go to our next one. You take the profits from the first one, and then when you have enough money to go to your next one, then you cut and paste and you press play. You go for your next one. Okay, let me speed it up a bit. I see we're running out of time. So business strategy, Governor Mapule, that answers your question. You can either go for low price, high occupancy, or high price, low occupancy. Each one has its pros and cons. Let's start with low price for high occupancy. So low price, high occupancy means you're going to be busy. You're going to be busy. People are going to check in and out. There's going to be more moving parts. It's going to be fun at first, but it can become a second job if you don't have the right systems in place. But it is a good strategy. It is a good strategy because price, people that go on Airbnb are looking for value, right? So if your price is low and yet your property looks great, you will get bookings. And you are in a high occupancy area, you will get bookings. But you are lowering your margin, right? Your margin is lower. So your place needs to be like 80% occupied in order for you to make a profit. What I've found is that on average, you just need 10 days to cover your costs. And then the rest of the month is pure profit. That's how you should kind of do your numbers as a rule of thumb. So if we do a calculation, if let's say your place rents out for 10,000 Rand a month, you should charge 1,000 Rand a day. That's a rule of thumb that I've found kind of works. So if the place is 6,000 Rand a month, you divide by 10, you can charge 600 Rand a night. You want your first 10 nights to cover your costs, and then your rent to cover your rent, and then the rest of the month should just be your profit. Okay. On average, if you are a good rental arbitrager, you should get double your rent. That's kind of rule of thumb. With a 60% occupancy, you should get double the rent. That's kind of like the average. That's what you should do if you do the right pricing model. You should get double the rent. So if it's a 10,000 Rand place a month, like you should get between 15 to 20,000 Rand a month in revenue. Great. High price, low occupancy. This is where you find a niche market. You need to find a niche, the traveler that's looking for something different. Airbnb travelers are looking for something different. So this is where you give your place a bit of personality. You can see what other people have done. People do amazing things. Give your place a bit of personality. Your decor must be a little bit more special than the other ones. It can't just be the normal stuff. And then you can charge a little bit more. And people will see that this one is a bit more value. I can charge a bit more. And then you won't be as busy. Your occupancy rates will be lower. There won't be cleaning, guest in, guest out. This thing can get hectic, guys. You get a guest who's checking in at 10. So a guest is checking out at 10. You need to flip around. You need to clean. You need to make sure it's cleaned. It's in prestige condition. Sheets. So you're going to get the tip. You can't have one set of sheets everything must be double, right? So that when you take out the one, you're washing it, the other one is going in, right? So those are some of the things that you're gonna learn when you run this business. Are you gonna clean it yourself when you start, or are you gonna hire a cleaner? The nice thing is you do charge for cleaning. When you do your listing, you bill for cleaning. We were charging 150 Rand. So that's over and above. So if you charge 1,000 Rand a night, you can add the cleaning. So, but someone, if they're there for 3 nights, they will pay 3,000 Rand and then the cleaning on top of that. The cleaning is only done once. You do not have to clean once the guest is there. Airbnb guests know that there's not going to be cleaning. There's no housekeeping. It's not there. So don't worry. You don't have to clean every day. If you have a long-term guest, like I've been lucky, I've been getting long-term guests. I was actually lucky. Some of my guests couldn't go back home because of lockdown, so they were forced to stay there. And then you can clean once a week. You can just go ahead and clean once a week. So that's your strategy. Now you can go extreme, low price, high occupancy. So very low price occupancy of 80% and above. You're gonna be busy. You're gonna be jumping. You're gonna changing a lot of sheets. Or you can go high price and an occupancy of like 30%. Or you can find something in the middle, the sweet spot. You can find the sweet spot where you are charging around the middle of the road and your occupancy will also be around average. Your occupancy will be closer to the average in that area. But you will get bookings. Do not worry. Airbnb is busy. As long as you're on the platform and you've got decent pictures, you will get bookings. There's always bookings. Another advantage with the high price, low occupancy strategy is that once the places are fully occupied in your area, then people are forced to book yours because there's no availability. You must remember, people are selling days, calendar days. So sometimes someone wants a specific weekend and no one else is available for that weekend. So when you're high price, you tend to get booked last. That's why your occupancy is low, but you'll still get bookings because the other places have already been booked and you are the only place available and someone is forced to book you because they have to be in that area. That's why you will get bookings, but you won't be as busy. Okay. If you are still with me, please say yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
And we're enjoying our thoughts. You may proceed.
I shall proceed. So managing it now, you have decided on the area. You have decided you're going arbitrage. You've signed the lease. You've done the pictures. Sorry, you bought the furniture. You've taken the pictures. You have done your listing. Your listing, you need to understand the narrative. You can't just say 2-bedroom apartment in Rosebank. No, you are in competition. You need to sell the sizzle and not sell the steak. You need to be descriptive. You can't say coffee machine. You must say, wake up to a lovely aroma of coffee with this espresso machine. Sell the story with your description. Your script there must be, you must practice it. You're selling here. You're selling the place. There's 1,000 other places like yours there. So when the person reads there, they must just want to book it. They must want to book it. The amenities, you must tell them what amenities. There's a pool, dip. Don't just say pool in complex. Dip in this crystal clear pool on a hot summer's day. Okay. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. So once you've done that, now you're going to start operating your business. You are going to get rated. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Julia. You are going to get rated on, so Airbnb guests will rate you. You will get reviews. The review you do not want to get wrong is the cleaning. Your place must be clean. Cleaning Airbnb is not just like cleaning you must clean, you can't leave a hair. If someone finds a hair, you're gonna get hammered. So make sure your cleaner, when your cleaner starts, check if everything is clean. It must be very clean. That's the one thing that will get you good reviews. When someone walks in your place and it's spotless, you will get good reviews. Make sure that
as long as sizenzela into vela silandaba uyazi silandaba.
Can you just put Zoria on mute?
Sorry, technical. My apologies, technical. Could I kindly request that?
I think Zoria is already excited. She wants to go and start. So check-in process. There's gonna be different check-in processes. The one I recommend, have a self-check-in. Otherwise, guests will land at a certain time and you must be there to give them the keys. So find a way to get a self-check-in. There's different ways. You can get like a key box. You can get a key box that has a PIN code. So you put in your key box there and then you give your guest the code. When they get there, they just do the code. Those key boxes cost about 800 Rand at Builders. We were lucky. We just left the keys with security. And people love self-check-in. Some people just don't want to greet the owner and things like that. They just want to check in and check out without ever meeting the owner. So have a self-check-in process. You will be communicating with your guests. You do it on the Airbnb platform. The Airbnb platform has, all the chats must happen on that platform. Do not chat to the guest on their cell phone unless it's absolutely crucial, because that's your trail of evidence. If anything happens, they're going to go back to see what you guys were saying to each other if there's a dispute. So chat to them, give them the check-in process, the rules and that. Your check-in, you will be rated on your check-in. It's one of the things they rate you on. So you need to explain in detail the Wi-Fi. Do not forget the Wi-Fi password. The first thing when people get in, you've got people from overseas. They don't have a cell phone in South Africa. They want to get on WhatsApp and communicate with people. The first thing they want is that Wi-Fi code. So make sure you give them the Wi-Fi code. Make sure that you are very clear. The key is below the carpet. Do this. The burglar bar must be, you must wiggle it a bit. Someone is tired. They've been on a long flight. You don't want them to struggle. The directions must be clear. It must be very clear. The door on the left, turn left. Be as specific as possible. You don't want the person getting lost with their bags. They are dragging their bags. They are moving around. They get to the wrong place. You're going to get hammered. You're going to get low reviews. This game is about reviews. If you get good reviews, you're going to make money, because when people search, your place is going to come up and you will become a SuperHost. Okay? How are we doing on time? Dr. Julia?
How much time do you need to cover this bit before we get to the Q&A segment?
No, I'm on the Q&A. I just need to do the live demo now.
Okay.
Fantastic.
You may proceed.
All right. Let me stop sharing and then take you to an actual Airbnb account. Okay. I'm going to share with you guys what one of our properties did. and how we became SuperHost. You want to be SuperHost. Being SuperHost is key in this business. It's all about becoming a SuperHost. And you can become a SuperHost in your first month. So this is how we did in 2020. Yeah, between 2019 and 2020. So we started in Feb. The nice thing is when we moved into this place, we were given the first month's rent free. So that was amazing. They gave us the first month's rent free and we were still setting up. But we still got bookings and we made 5,000 rand. Great. First month, 5 grand, happiness. Second month, we made 13,000 rand. The rent there is 3,500. So made some profit, made 13,000 rand in our first month of business. April, we were locked down, but the good thing that happened to us was that the person that booked in March couldn't leave. So they had to stay in April, and we gave them a discount to pay us directly outside the Airbnb platform. And we made money in April. It's just that it wasn't on the Airbnb platform. That person said, I need to be here. I can't leave. Can you give me a discount? But we don't do it on the Airbnb platform. Because what Airbnb does, it charges the guests an additional fee when they book. I think it's 20% or something. So if your place is 1,000 a night, they will pay 1.2, but you will get 97%, 970 rand from that booking. So May, 24,000 rand. I mean, May was an excellent month. I mean, your rent is 9, you make 24, ka-ching. You're smiling all the way to the bank. June, a bit slower, 13. And this was all in lockdown, guys. So these were tough economic conditions. Tough economic. We couldn't have international guests and things like that. July, 17,000. August, another 17. August, 16, 18,000, 10,000, 13,000. And we had a dual listing as well. So you don't have to only put your place on Airbnb. You can put it on bookings.com as well. The nice thing is if someone books it on booking.com, it automatically, you cannot book it on Airbnb and vice versa. So the software is amazing because it will synchronize between the two platforms. So there's money we made as well outside this from the people that booked on booking.com. Let's talk about SuperHost. We became SuperHost. There we go. Because as a SuperHost, when you search, your unit comes out on top. To become SuperHost, you have to achieve a 4.8 rating. That is not easy. So that means literally everyone is rating you 5-star on everything. Everyone is rating you 5-star on literally everything. Your cleanliness, your check-in process, everything. Your response rate. So when someone sends you an inquiry, you are given 24 hours to respond. But if you respond within an hour, then you get rated well here. Cancellation rate, if you cancel, someone has booked and you cancel them, you get rated low. So those are the requirements to become a SuperHost. And yeah, that is it in a nutshell. I mean, there's a whole lot to cover. I tried to cover as much as I could in the time, but we can take a bit of time and address any questions that anyone might have.
Wow, thank you so much, Khaled, that was so insightful, so enlightening. I've learned so much, and I'm ready to start yesterday. That's how exciting it is, you know.
You must go for it. You must go for it.
So I'd allow you to take questions. I see there's another question there on the chat box for you. So I'd like to open this platform for you to ask questions, whether you want to do it on the chat box or whether you'd like to ask the speaker directly. Please feel free. This session is just for you. You know, don't let Mkhele walk away. I mean, walk away without you asking him the relevant questions that you need for you to be able to start. You know, as soon as he leaves, you must be able to ensure that you are ready to start. And next week, or we can get some testimonies on what you've been able to do in terms of starting your own Airbnb from this webinar. Thank you so much. I'd now open to the platform rather, for everyone to ask questions. Please go for it.
All right, I see Tandeka has got a question. How do you register your unit for Airbnb? It is very, very simple. It's literally going to the site. To share here. You literally go to the website and it is very simple. Where's your property located? Let's say your property is in Randburg. Let's say it's in 10 Malibongwe Drive. Is it an apartment or apartment suite? Okay. Property type. Is it an apartment, a house, a bed and breakfast, a hotel? It's an apartment. Now, what is it? Condominium, loft, service apartment? It's an apartment. It's very easy. Are you going to rent out the entire place, a private room or a shared room? A shared room is there's other people in that room, private room, separate room, entire place. The person has the entire place to himself. Is this setup dedicated for? It's easy. It's literally a Q&A you're going to answer like this. How many guests can it take? This. It is so simple. It is very simple. Sleeping arrangement. How many beds are there? There's a sofa bed, there's a couch, there's a mattress, it's very simple. And then you just, how many bathrooms? One. And then there's gonna be where you type in your description. It literally takes you less than 30 minutes to set it up. And then you can take pictures with your phone. And then you're up and ready. You can literally by tonight go to your second bedroom, make the bed nicely, put up pictures, and then you can list it here. And you'll start getting inquiries. It's as simple as that. Cool. Is the hand here? Okay. Are we good? Should we move to the next section of the prezzo? Can we kindly have the website link if possible?
You've got two hands up. You've got two hands up. Miliswa and Tess have got up.
Cool, go for it.
Ladies, I need to talk about it.
Tess, go for it.
All right. Good evening, Mkhele. Thank you so much for the presentation. I just wanted to find out and also advise if someone has maybe a house, a 3-bed, and maybe they've got 2 rooms in it. What approach must they use? Must they run it more as a B&B, whereby they would offer the visitor breakfast and so on, since they'll be in the house? Because I heard you saying that, most visitors don't want to meet the owners and so on. So what advice would you give to someone who's in the house already and then they'll be sharing it with the visitor who comes? What approach must they maybe follow in their case? It's not a vacant apartment.
Yeah. No, that's an excellent apartment. That's an excellent question. So the travelers that tend to use that type of accommodation are the ones that are looking for value. So your pricing must be below the entire place. So some people are really looking for value. And the good thing is because you already live there, you're not gonna incur additional costs. So it's all about your pricing. The nice thing about Airbnb, it caters for every single traveler. There's people who just rent out a little cottage at the back. Someone even has a little bus that they put at their backyard, and people just want to sleep in that bus for that experience. So whatever you are comfortable with and you know you can make it work, go for it, because there are guests out there that are looking for what you are offering. Remember, there are millions of people searching all the time. And if what you are offering resonates with them, you will get bookings. Some people don't want to see the owner. Some people love to chat to the owner. You'll get guests that will just, they want to make friends with the owner. They want to get vegetables from your garden. There's people who just absolutely love that kind of traveling. And you will be catering for that market. Does it make sense?
Are you answered, Sates?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
Thank
Fantastic.
you, SG Melissa. Go for it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. My question is more or less what Tess has asked already, but it was more on security. Say you're living in an apartment and you have like for instance, I have like a 3-bedroom apartment and I have one that I'm not using at all. So now in terms of security, say you're living in there and then a stranger comes in and lives with you and so on. I know it's about money and all of that. What are the dynamics on that one?
So in terms of theft, any form of theft, you're covered. You're covered. There's insurance for it. But in terms of your personal safety, unfortunately, that's the risk you take. But the nice thing with Airbnb is there's a background check that they do with the guys, but with every guest, but they obviously don't do criminal checks in that. So someone has to have a picture. You have the ability, if you just don't feel right, you have the ability to accept or decline a guest. And that doesn't rank you, it doesn't disadvantage you in terms of the algorithm. But the apartments that have instant book get additional points. So instant book is someone books and they are confirmed immediately without your approval. So you might want to put the setting that you must first approve. And you can interview the person first. You can say, what are you here for? Oh, okay, how long are you staying? Where are you from? You can kind of interview the guest before you actually approve them. Okay, but yeah, it's one of the risks that you take. Lock your bedroom, Leswa. Make sure you lock your bedroom.
That's the best advice.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Should we jump to the next section? All right.
Go for it.
Super idea. Thanks for sharing. Cool. Thanks, Tande. Right. Rental arbitrage. A lot of people don't know rental arbitrage. It's been done. And rental arbitrage, I hope it's getting your mind working. You can be creative with rental arbitrage. It's not only in Airbnb. You can rent out an office space and rent out actual desks. Rental arbitrage is done in salons. You can go and rent a business and get the hairdressers to rent the chairs out. You pay rent of 10,000. you charge the hairdressers 2,000 and there's 10 of them, you're making 20. That is rental arbitrage. So think broader as well in terms of the concept of rental arbitrage. We are here to look for opportunities. We are entrepreneurs here. We are creative. We're thinking out of the box. So I want you to also spread your thinking as well around the concept of rental arbitrage, because it's a business opportunity on its own, just the concept of rental arbitrage.